Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Norman the Gnome here from angrylemongaming, giving you a brief guide on how I play Teemo, the Swift Scout. Teemo is an AD carry, as well as Tristana, that focuses on being able to use his mobility and his map awareness with his ultimate to be able to control the outcomes of fights and the game in general. When you're first summoned into Summoner's Rift, I always pick up Toxic Shot first, which makes your basic attacks deal bonus magic damage and poison your enemy. His W ability, Move Quick, will passively increase his movement speed as long as you haven't been hurt. Hit by an enemy, and there was a recent change that even if the damage is shielded, it still deactivates your Move Quick. But you can activate it to double the bonus movement speed, which makes Teemo very, very quick late game, and he can get in and out of fights really easily. His Q ability blinds his targets, so none of their basic attacks will hit you, and it also does magic damage as well. I always buy boots first, and a couple health pots. 3-4 health pots. Usually it's 3 because that's how much money it ends up being. There I was in the on the fountain a little bit extra long, so I could buy an extra health pot, which isn't ideal. You always want to get into lane as soon as possible. Teemo's passive also, if he stands still without taking any damage for a couple seconds, he becomes stealthed, and then after leaving that stealth, his attack speed goes up, so it lets you put that poison on people a lot faster. What you really want to do with Teemo, as well as any other attack damage carry, or any carry in general, is you want to focus on your last hits. Try to get as much gold as quickly as possible to allow you to get that experience, and the gold of course, and get better items quicker, faster, and make you just stronger in general. I'm just going to get a few last hits here. You can out-trade many champions. How I have Teemo built, I go heavy into the defensive tree to allow me to be able to have that extra sustain and just be a little more beefy, because you are a little rabid guy that, like, you have a global taunt. Everybody wants to kill you. I don't know why Riot does it, but they just want to kill Teemo. Maybe it's just because you're so dang cute. But I generally go with Move Quick as my second ability, which will allow me to outmaneuver many opponents very, very easily, because I will have a 10% to 20% move speed over top of them if they bought boots. And if they did not buy boots, if they went Doran's Ring, Doran's Shield, any other item, they're going to be a lot slower than me, so I'm going to be able to chase them. I'm going to be able to position myself to get a lot more strength in that regard. I always try to max out my E first, which is a Toxic Shot, for the damage output, extra harassment. I don't generally go for a lot of kills unless you absolutely know you can get them early game. Like here, I'm going to be able to down the Sivir very easily. The Nasus died to the tower as well. I believe Master Yi actually got that kill, so that's good by Master Yi bot. This is a custom game. Just really quick, I generally level up my W second, depending on how I'm doing in lane. Sometimes I will go for Q if I'm getting heavy harassed, but I generally want to get that W maxed out as quick as possible. If you're getting heavily harassed, and most of the time in a normal game you are going to be harassed a lot, especially by those other AD champions, you're going to want to go with your Q at level 4. I'm actually going to pick it up at level 5 here, just to give me a little bit more damage output. And Teemo, he does not, early game and even into the mid game, he doesn't hit extremely hard. Like, you saw me hitting that Nasus, it was hardly doing any damage at all. But what Teemo lacks in in raw damage output, he can make up for in attack speed. A lot of people like to go with like an AP style Teemo, trying to make that toxic shot and your blinding shot do as much damage as possible, just to kind of burst people down. I personally don't think that's the way to go, because you are so reliant on your burst damage that you have no real sustain. You do have a little bit of sustain through your toxic shot, but it's not as sustained as if you were going AD. And unlike other AD carries, Tristana one, I really like Tristana. Teemo doesn't have a combo that you're gonna do that's just gonna nuke your opponent. You're gonna kind of pick them away and out sustain them for the most part, and be able to position yourself to do strong damage very often and for a very long amount of time. Like, what I'm meaning by this is other champions have to burst and then take a couple steps back, wait for cooldowns, and burst again. Whereas Teemo can burst, stand there for a while, keep bursting, and keep doing damage, and never have to rely on cooldowns to be really effective. The only cooldown that you gotta worry about is his ultimate, which I just picked up. It's Noxious Trap. What this does is, for me, because I have a skin, I will drop an egg. It's normally a mushroom on the ground, and this mushroom or egg is going to be basically a trap. It's going to be an invisible trap that's going to give me kind of like a ward. It's going to give me a little bit of advanced warning if someone's coming. If an opponent steps on the trap, it explodes, slowing them and doing not massive amounts of damage, but enough damage to where they don't like to get hit by your traps. And this is one of the main reasons that a lot of people go with an AP style for Teemo, is because you can place those traps and they really hurt, and it's actually pretty funny when somebody steps on one and you're nowhere around and they die. But these traps, as you're going to see right here, can be used for creeps as well. You don't always have to use them to reveal the map. You should as much as you can, because it's going to give you great map awareness. People can teleport to your mushrooms to set up ganks. Key places that you're going to want to place mushrooms are, of course, in this bush if you're top lane. This triangle bush here, this bush. You will also want to, if you're not buying wards, you can put one in Baron here. Even up front here. These bushes are also very effective. Basically, any bush in the game is a very effective place to put a mushroom. If you can get mid lane, you want to try to stop their jungler from ganking you. So if you can make your way up here, drop a mushroom. If you're on blue team, of course, place a mushroom there, or the other side if you're on the purple team, and on this side as well. I don't have the cooldown up, but you put a mushroom here. You can also wrap around, put a mushroom in this bush to help you be a little more safe. Put it down here. You basically want to put mushrooms anywhere that people are going to run at, and especially in bushes, because it'll reveal them. For items, I will be here real quick, and I will show you the items I normally buy. Like I said, I play a more tanky type attack speed on hit style of Teemo, so I will go into items like Madrid's Blood Razor if they're very tanky, a lot of hit point enemies. Wit's End is another very good item. It gives you a whole ton of magic resist, which will really help, and it does bonus damage every time you hit them. So if I buy Wit's End, I attack at 1.2 attacks a second. So every second I'm gonna be doing my base damage of the 66. This is before any resistances or anything like that, but I'm gonna do the base damage of my 66, my E, which puts a 27 magical damage on them, an 18 magical dot over 4 seconds, which the fight you're gonna shoot him more times, so you're never gonna get that full 18 damage. It's gonna constantly be refreshing, but you'll get that damage. You will also get the passive from Wit's End, which is 42 bonus attack or bonus magic damage, and you're gonna increase your magic resistance by 5 every attack 4 times, so you'll get 20 magic resist. Right now I'm at 79 magic resist, which is 44%. So with that extra 20, I'll be at about almost 100 thereabouts magic resist, which is going to make me extremely tanky for as early as the game is. The other items, I really love getting Madrids if they have a tanky team, because of the attack damage bonus. Makes you hit harder, you attack faster, you get more armor, of course, and then there's the on-hit ability. The on-hit items are so strong on Teemo, it's outrageous, actually, is how I would put it, because you can constantly be hitting them and you attack rather fast. You can get that attack speed capped very quickly. I will show my runes and masteries on the website, angrylemongaming.com, in the forums page, but you just, in my opinion, how I play Teemo, I always stack attack speed, and I stack those on-hit effects, Black Cleavers, Madrid's Blood Razor, and then if you get a Wit's End, Madrid's Blood Razor, and a Black Cleaver, if you feel that you're doing enough damage, you can go into a defensive item. I highly recommend Banshee's Veil, either Banshee's Veil or Frozen Heart, or just anything defensive that you need to counter their team. Heavy magic teams or heavy CC teams definitely go with the Banshee's Veil. With boots, I always go with the Merc Treads, because of the magic resist, because of the tenacity. It's just perfect, because you are a carry and you are AD, but you also want to be able to take some punishment, because you don't want to just be that glass cannon that everybody rages at because you're feeding. So if you build a little more tanky, you can withstand fights that you normally wouldn't. And that's why I always try to buy items also with some sort of defensive ability on it, like the 30 magic resist, the 25 armor. Black Cleaver does not have one, but I would only buy that very late game. And I also buy Phantom Dancer. Phantom Dancer increases your movement speed, and that is the strongest thing for Teemo, is being able to move quick. His ability is called Move Quick, so you'll always want to be able to outrun your opponent. And accompanied with Flash, there are very few champions that can run you down and kill you, so you can get away from a lot of situations if you need to. But this is all for the Teemo tutorial of how I play Teemo. I hope you find it informative. Come to our website, angrylemongaming.com. Subscribe at the top, comment at the bottom, and please give us the thumbs up. Thanks.